Most American children leave home by walking to a bus stop or climbing into the family car. Here, morning begins with the tide. In most places, a road connects families to school. Here, the first road is water. Before the first lesson comes the first crossing. For these families, the journey has always been part of the education. School buses usually stop at the side of a road. Here they stop at the edge of the tide. A school bus usually follows the same road every morning.
This one follows the water.
And every morning the water is just a little different. For some children, the hardest part of getting to school is waking up early. For others, it's the journey itself. Every school reflects the place where it stands. Here the lessons begin long before the first page is opened.
For children growing up surrounded by water, books become another way to travel. Some journeys cross the ocean, others cross the imagination.
In many schools, science begins inside a laboratory. Here it often begins by looking outside.
In many schools, science begins inside a laboratory. Here, it often begins by looking outside.
Education doesn't begin when a teacher opens a book. It begins long before that, in kitchens, on fishing boats. Every morning, children trust a boat. Before that can happen, someone has to trust every bolt, every engine, every board beneath their feet. Looks like the kids will have a smooth ride.
You heading to the game Saturday?
Yeah, planning on it. Should be a good matchup against Klawak this year.
Most mornings begin with a weather report. Few people ever wonder who prepared it.
A community isn't connected because everyone travels the same way. It's connected because everyone helps keep the way open. Sometimes the longest part of a school day isn't the journey out. It's the waiting for someone to come home. The trip to school brings children together. The trip home returns them to the lives that shaped them. Most people will never think about the vehicles waiting for tomorrow morning. But long before children wake up, someone is already making sure they'll arrive safely. Most homework is done at a kitchen table, no matter where that table stands, on a city street, or an island surrounded by the Pacific. Some lessons aren't part of the school curriculum. They're learned from neighbors, coaches, volunteers, friends.
How was school today?
Good. We dissected a salmon in science class.
Not every lesson is taught inside a classroom. Some begin with a hearing test, a vaccination.
Most children will never see where tomorrow begin, because tomorrow often starts the night before. When you can see the light, you know where home is.
Everything here before school? Always.
Every community depends on work most people never witness. The ocean teaches children to look ahead. The mountains teach them to look around. Tonight, the sky teaches them to look farther still. When children arrive tomorrow, the floors will already be clean. The lights will already be on. The classrooms will... Communities don't begin when people wake up. They begin with the quiet work that makes waking up possible. Tomorrow's confidence is often packed inside a lunchbox, folded into a rain jacket, or written. Before the first child steps outside, someone has already arrived to make sure the journey will be waiting.
A school day doesn't begin with the ringing of a bell. It begins when an entire community quietly decides it's time to begin again.
For some children, the school bus stops at the end of a street. For others, it arrives across the sea. Every family has its own morning. Some children leave for school, others stay behind to help another day begin. Some children walk to school, some ride a bus. Here, the morning begins with a forest trail that leads to the sea.
Almost left your lunch behind?
I remembered. Mom remembered. That's teamwork.
Children rarely remember every homework assignment.
Children who grow up here learn something early. The ocean doesn't belong to people.
No touching, just looking.
In places like this, children rarely grow up surrounded by strangers. They grow up surrounded by people who know their names.
Bring it back tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
The trip to school doesn't begin when the school boat arrives.
Have a good day.
See you this afternoon. Looks like another calm crossing.
Best morning we've had all week.
This dock becomes the town square for a few quiet minutes. Education doesn't ask where a child comes from, only where they're willing to go.
Between home and the classroom, there is another place where children learn how to share, how to help, how to belong. Long before the first lesson is written, these children have already practiced kindness and community.
Who thinks we'll see whales today?
Every morning, this boat carries more than students. It carries friendships, habits, and dreams. Most children walk through a school gate. These children crossed an ocean first, yet the hope waiting inside is exactly the same.
Bye, Captain Mike.
Every mile across the water leads here,
You made it. Good morning.
to a place where small islands become one community.
For many children, a map is simply paper. For these students, it's a picture of how they arrived this morning. In many schools, nature is something students read about. Here, nature arrives before the lesson does.
Before highways, this was the road. Were you scared? Only if I forgot my homework. In some places, history still arrives by boat.
Some schools teach children about the ocean. Here, the ocean is the classroom itself.
Don't forget your fruit. I won't.
A community isn't built only by learning together. Sometimes it's built by simply sharing lunch at the same table.
This tree is still feeding the forest. How many birds did you hear? Good. That means you were all paying attention.
If this knot slips, someone doesn't get home.
How long should this engine last?
If you respect it, longer than you.
You remembered. My grandma reads this one too.
Some books teach children about distant worlds. Others help them understand the one waiting outside the window.
Who remember where these seeds came from?
Last year's plants.
So next year's garden starts today. Education isn't only about preparing for the future.
See you tomorrow.
If the weather lets us.
Then we'll see you tomorrow.
This afternoon, the children carry more than backpacks.
Every afternoon, these islands receive something new. Not supplies, not mail, but children returning home a little different than they were this morning.
All day long, these islands have been waiting. Not for tourists, not for deliveries, but for the sound of children coming home.
They're on time.
So they are.
How was science today?
We tested seawater.
Then tomorrow,
You'll have to teach me.
a school can teach a child something new.
Education doesn't replace the work that built these islands. It helps the next generation understand it a little better.
What did you borrow?
A book about humpback whales. Every afternoon, another classroom quietly appears. Not inside a school, around a family table, where curiosity is welcomed home. In many places, school belongs to children. Here, it belongs to the entire community. Because morning filled this boat with expectation, evening fills it with reflection. Sometimes that is the greatest lesson a school can give. You can measure the distance between islands, but you cannot measure the comfort of seeing one familiar light waiting at the end of the day. They're holding hands.
So they won't drift apart.
Morning asks children to leave home. Evening reminds them why they always return.
I've got it.
Thanks.
See you in the morning.
Same time.
For one child, this is simply the way home.
Most people never remember the trip home after everyone else has already arrived. School route complete.
Copy that. See you in the morning.
Every ordinary day rests quiet hundreds of ordinary routines. Most people never notice them.
At night, you can no longer see the school or the boat.
Only the lights of the families they quietly connect every single day. Every journey children make across these waters begins long before they step onto the boat. It begins with quiet hands preparing for another ordinary morning. Tomorrow, these children will grow older. One day, they'll leave these islands. Some will come back, some won't.